Hi, this is Gary Ellis. I feel that it's extremely important to openly and publicly state a warning as a pastor to all those who will hear. The warning is that, in my opinion, there is an issue that is far more dangerous than ISIS or any other form of terrorism that we face in our country, or any country for that matter. It is also more dangerous than almost any issue that has or will yet arise in any earthly kingdom or government. And the danger is this: automatically defaulting to natural reason-based wisdom, known in the scriptures as wisdom of this world. The wisdoms of this world are like placing band-aids on a visible manifestation of a cancer. You think you've done something productive because you can't see the wound. But the fact is that the cancer keeps growing inside anyway. A great many, if not all, critical, socio-political, economic, humanitarian issues and everything in between have their roots in the invisible. In other words, they are spiritually motivated, and yet we tend to default to natural wisdom and tack on a prayer and feel like we've committed it to the Lord. But that is, in fact, very deceptive. There is no other supposed wisdom that is wise enough to deal with the heart of the issue but the Spirit of God. In many ways, throughout the Scriptures, we are warned about depending on worldly wisdom, and we are called upon to take audience with the King of Kings, or President of Presidents, if you prefer. The typical mindset in my 40-plus years of observation and ministry, and sadly many times considering my own responses, has been to react emotionally with my own natural understandings. The problem is that our natural understandings are always formed by years of our own personal circumstances, biases, and prejudices. Now, that's called, in psychological terms, confirmation bias. The potential of confirmation bias is an absolute fact of life for everyone. With this internal nemesis of psychological confirmation bias, the facts don't matter. Only how we feel about something matters. We will use words of supposed natural wisdom to justify our feelings, but myriads of facts that don't support how we feel are still ignored. The answers, really, to most issues in a very complex societal structure are never as simple as we want to make them. So how does one claim spiritual light as their inheritance? Not use it, but instead blunder around in the darkness of incomplete natural wisdom? God's sons and daughters are called by Him to default to the Spirit. Default to being guided by His Spirit. Instead, sadly, we default to our own brands of worldly wisdom and reasonings. One of the best ways when the wisdom of the world is in full bloom is the wisdom will be heavily laced with what-ifs. The Spirit of God will always say, "What is?" Try this. Begin training yourself to default to the Spirit. Give at least equal time to a Spirit-based default that you've been giving to natural reasonings and wonderings already. I'm Gary Ellis, pastor of the Sanctuary Church in Davenport, and that's my appeal and my warning to the body of Christ. There's something more dangerous than the terrorism of ISIS. It's defaulting to natural reasonings and tacking on a prayer here and there. We must learn to default automatically to the Spirit. That is where our hope lies.